Alright guys, welcome back to another video. This is my 10th post-production tutorial. Actually no, sorry, tutorial in general. There's been a couple of prac ones and then a little bit of theory, and this is another post-production tutorial. So I just want to say thanks again to everyone that's been checking these out. I mean, you guys, I can see you are learning. You're starting to ask the right questions, and you guys are getting really creative. You know, I can see with your responses, you're actually enjoying this. So that's what I'm really trying to get. You know, you guys are helping me learn as much as I'm helping you. So thanks again to everyone. You guys are absolutely rocking at this. So let's keep going. So I mentioned in a previous video, we're going to start doing a little bit of video editing, compositing and tutorials. So we're going to start out with a simple one today. We're in Final Cut Pro at the moment. Final Cut Pro is Apple's top of the line NLE system. It's my personal preference between all of them. I mean, I've used Avid Media Composer, Sony Vegas, Premiere Pro, all of those things. Final Cut Pro just seems to be the smoothest application that I've got. I mean, it takes, just like anything, it takes some getting used to, but it is my personal preference. I mean, I was in this doing commercial work for about 3 years, and it is a really, really beautiful program when you start learning out how it's going. I'm calling a program beautiful. I sound like a fucking nerd, but whatever. Look, I wanted to talk about a technique today, which is basically copying and syncing up settings from clip to clip. Now, if you've done work in any other program, I'm sure a lot of them work the same way, but this seems to be the best for me. Okay, so imagine what we've got here is a clip of Royce King doing a very nice 3 downside whip to late bar over Macfield's box. Now, a lot of you guys know Royce King. He's personally one of my favorite writers. His individuality and his style and his overall progression in this sport has just been unbelievable. I mean, Royce has done tricks that I've never thought of before, and he's just such a consistent kid. So I absolutely love him. So sorry, Royce, I hope you don't mind me using your clip. I hope I've got your consent. Alright, so what I've done is I've stripped this one clip out of a sequence that I did a couple of months ago. This is just a basic overall look. We'll zoom in a little bit. This is a basic overall look on what an edit can look like. Now, this is very simple. It's just got some audio and obviously the clips and transitions and text and stuff like that. So there's nothing special here, but what I wanted to talk about is syncing your settings. Now, imagine you finish this project and you wanted to go through and do some of your color grading, and you wanted to do some normalization on your audio. Normalization is basically leveling out your high peaks and your low peaks in your audio. If you're doing anything to ever go to commercial, you have to normalize your audio, and you have to be under very strict legalizations for audio as well as color. So this is a good way to get around it. If you ever start doing commercial work, if somebody wants you to put together a 30-second or a 15-second TVC, this is a good way to get everything the exact same. So picture this clip here. This is all these clips. So these are all separate, but I'll do an example on this clip here. So if I copy and paste, okay, so I've pasted that 5 times. Imagine this row of clips here. Imagine all of these are separate clips. Now for this one here, let's go and do a couple of very basic edits. We'll jump into video filters. We'll go to color corrector. I will pull the saturation down, just so you guys get an idea on what I'm doing. Pull the saturation down. I'll pump the blacks out a little bit. I will also bring down the audio. So we'll go minus 6 dB. Let's say for some reason this clip, the audio peaks are a bit too high. So we'll drop these down. And what else? What else do we want to do? Let's leave it at that for the moment. So we've done the filters, we've added color correction. We've added some audio adjustments. So we've pulled down the levels on both left and right mono channels. And we'll leave the pan in the middle. Alright, so straight away, this is just a really quick example. I've done a couple of things here, but imagine I was in that sequence and I needed to do that to every single one. Now, there is a way you can go in here and you can go, okay, so audio minus 6 dB, color correction, and you can look at these levels, but that's going to take you a hell of a long time. If you've got 2 or 3 clips, it's not a problem, but I'd recommend doing this on anything. Let's say we wanted to get the exact same settings across all of these clips here, keeping in mind these are theoretically different clips from a sequence, so we're not going to do the same thing over and over and over, but because we could just copy and paste it. But imagine these are different clips. All we need to do is go to edit, copy, or the keyboard shortcut is Command C. Now what that's done is a couple of things. Now I can go over here and paste. It's going to paste the same clip, But as I said before, keeping in mind that we wouldn't be doing this on the exact same clip, we'd be copying the settings across a variety of clips. So it's copied it, and you can paste it, but it's also done a couple of things. It's copied the attributes of the clip into the clipboard. Now the clipboard is this invisible thing that you can't see, but what it's done is it's now allowed me to select all of these clips, and if I hit Option V, not Command V, Option V, it's going to come up with this little panel that's saying Paste Attributes. So it's saying, alright, this looks a bit confusing, but when you break it down, it's quite simple. Video attributes and audio attributes. Video attributes is anything visually that you're going to see. Audio is anything that you're going to hear. So straight away, we did filters. That was the first thing that we did. And that's all we did in the video side. Usually if I was to, basic motion is this, like the scale of the clip. If you've enhanced it, if you've brought it up, crop, distort, opacity, all of these things can be affected in the motion tab, but we don't need to click any of those because we didn't actually do it to this clip. Remember, we're copying the settings from this clip here onto all of these clips here. So all we did was filters. Again, if I needed to do any of these, if I did crop it and make distortion changes, then I'd click those as well. So that's in the video side, we're copying the filters. Audio side, what did we do? We adjusted the levels. Now, I didn't touch the pan. The pan's talking about the left and right channels. You start mucking around with this if you're doing anything like with 5.1 or 7.1 surround sounds. We didn't do anything with this, but this is all I did for the moment. I am going to paste the filters and the levels from this clip to all of these clips here. As soon as I click OK, that's it, we're done. So you can see straight away, I double click on this clip, it's got the color correction done, the black's been pulled down to punch the blacks out a little bit, saturation's been dropped, and the filters, the audio levels have been dropped down 6 dB on each channel. So that's been affected automatically to every single one of these. Now this is a lot like Lightroom and syncing settings. This is a big time saver when you're doing it to a bunch of clips. Now remember, this is just an example, these couple of clips here, but you would apply this to all of these clips here. If you did your color grading and you did audio normalization or leveling, you pulled it down, or you were shooting a fisheye and you wanted to expand it a little bit. So when you zoom out, because I hate fisheye so much, but you know, you can't really get close enough without one, what I tend to do is I'll in the basic motion tabs, you can see the scale's gone from 100% up to 125.72. Now all I need to do is I could just copy that basic motion and apply that to any of the fisheye clips, and you can see, because the vignetting on the fisheye is bad, the vignetting looks like that, so it's terrible. So all I need to do is scale it up so I don't see, so the vignetting's been cut off. Then I copy that setting, paste it to all the other clips, and they're exactly the same. So you're not going to see any of the motion jumping around between the clips. So think about it, guys. It's going to give you a it's going to save you a lot of time. Now, again, it works the opposite way. If we wanted to go in, and I'll just zoom in here. If we wanted to go in and remove the clips, all we do is not remove the clips, remove the attributes. I can select all of these. Say we wanted to go back to square one, just exactly how the clip came in. I hit Alt, Option, and the Command key, Option, and V comes up with remove attributes. Now these are the only things that it's able to remove, because these are the only things that's been affected. If I'd done basic motion, crop, distortion, drop shadows, motion blur, all that kind of stuff to the clips, these would be highlighted, so I'd be able to remove those. But these are the only two things that I've added to it. So click OK. Go back in, and there you go. The clip is, I'll bring it back up, the clip has gone back to the standard. Now the audio's been pulled back to 0 dB, the filters have been removed, the color grading's been changed, all that stuff. So this is a clip with the black and white. And again, this works to everything. When you go into it, you can adjust your levels, pan, filters, speed, basic motion, crop, distortion, opacity, drop shadows, motion, blur, filters, and speed. So every single thing that you're going to do to the clip, you can sync them. That is a really cool thing. So keep that in mind, guys, that if you're doing any work in Final Cut Pro, keep the consistent look the same. Don't go ahead and try and color grade everyone individually and get it as close as you can to the opposite clip, but copy the settings and do it exactly the same. It's the same process through Lightroom. You want to get your photos to look exactly the same. If you're doing anything with stop motion or stop animation, you bring in 1,000 different clips. You're not going to want to go through and individually edit all of those, you do one and then you sync the rest of the settings. So again, guys, this is a really, really cool thing, so keep this in mind. This has just been a very, very quick and very basic tutorial, so we'll go into a lot more depth. The next one, we're going to be talking about the Sin City effect. Now, if you guys have never heard of that, it's pretty much isolating a color from the clip. So let's say for this clip here, we got Royce jumping over the box, and for the Sin City effect, this is going to be the next tutorial. All we wanted to see was his blue shirt, so we can go in. This is all through color grading and isolation. You can go in, select the blue, and then invert and say everything else needs to be darkened or desaturated or anything like that. Or we can keep this green from the petrol station in there, anything like that. So that's the Sin City effect. You see it a lot in, I think it was in that Smallville Superman TV series. I think it was in that. So yeah, it's pretty much allowing one color to bleed through and using a filter to mask the rest of the colors that haven't been approved. So we'll talk about that next. Anyway, guys, I hope this has helped. Anything else in Final Cut Pro that you can think of that you want to let me know, mention it and we'll talk about it, because I'm going to do a whole sequence in Final Cut Pro. Anyway, guys, hope this has helped. Thanks so much, and I'll talk to you soon.